Hey everyone, Rick from European Motors here. I'm with my BMW V10 M5 6-speed, of course. If you're a big fan of watching car videos, I'm sure you bumped into Doug DeMuro. He does his little section on his strange quirks, and I don't think he's ever done anything on a V10 BMW M5, so I thought, why not do that, kind of do it with my own style and show you what an owner of this car can kind of highlight and show you what are the coolest things and what are just the weirdest things about this car. So let's get right to it and hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know if you want to see more videos just like this. Now I want to just remind you this is an 07 and this is a feature that I love because my mom has a 2015 BMW 428 and it doesn't have this feature, and I know other cars do, but I think it's a fantastic feature. So I'm here at the driver's side, I have the key. Again, this is a feature that is pretty much awesome in this car. I'm going to show you that I'm not going to press anything. I'm going to leave the key right there and look at that. It knows when my hand is on the handle and it'll automatically let me open the door just like that without having to unlock. However, if I don't have this key with me, it will not work. So I'm going to show that to you. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to leave the key right over here, right on the line. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to walk over. The car is locked and I'm going to show you that it's not going to open. Yep, I'm in close proximity to the door. And once that happens, then it'll open without touching a button. I don't even need to leave it on here. It could be in my pocket. It's going in my pocket and boom, easy as that. I love that feature so much. Coming to the interior of the car, this is great. Whenever you have a hot day, it is great to have this as an option. These little shaders, they're not automatic. You do have an automatic one in the back, and you even have one on here. So if you're going on a trip and the sun is really bugging you, this lets the light in, but it also lets the sun not beat down on your face as hard. So that's a good feature, and of course, it is on the other side as well of the back of the car and also in the back windshield. So great feature that I absolutely love. So if you like the M car, one of the things you want to kind of show people is that you're in an M car, and this car is no doubt always going to let you know that you're in an M car. There are M badges everywhere, but it's not tacky. You see there's none on the front, but there are some, like I said, on the side. Every single door that you have when you open it up greets you with a huge M5 logo, so you know where you're at. M5 floor mats, it's everywhere. It's on the shifter because this is a 6-speed, and then as well as even, look at that, on the RPM gauge. That is awesome. You don't even get M, you get M5 in the back, which is exactly how it should be. So moving on to the inside of the car, this is one of my favorite features, and not all cars have this, but this is the side bolstering. You can see there the little icon, and you can make the aggressiveness as much as you want. There it's off, there it's on, and then you get it there in comfort mode. You hit it again, get it now in normal mode, and if you hit it again, you get it in sport mode. And what that basically does, whenever you turn the wheel, depending on how aggressive, these side bolsters will pull out and kind of hug you in the curve. It's amazing. And you have one on each side, and you can activate them whenever you like. So on the track, it's awesome so that you're not flopping back and forth. They're for the passenger as well, and you can turn them on independently from the passenger. So maybe the passenger doesn't like it, so they turn it off, or they turn it on. I kind of thought this was a very gimmicky thing and it wasn't that exciting, and it was just like, hey, watch this, the seat moves. But it's actually very helpful. When you make a very aggressive turn in this car, your body flops one way and this immediately pushes you back the other way and keeps you in line and where you want to be. Now I love this feature. I did have an 01 M5, the V8 version, and they had the weirdest and worst cup holders ever. They were right over here, and I never met anyone whose cup holders didn't break in that car. They perfected it on this car. Basically, they're completely hidden away. You press a button over here, and there we go. It pops out, and this is for the driver. So I'm sitting here, and this is well within my reach, but it's out of the way. It doesn't really bother. I could put large bottles. Bottle can come up to here. You know, some people have really large bottles. And even the passenger has one. And it's great because they stow away. They're very sturdy. They wiggle a little bit, but I've never seen them really breaking on people. Mostly this side breaks, and this allows for larger size cup holders. I know not everyone cares about cup holders, but I think this feature is really great, and it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Because this car, they decided to put a dry sump lubrication on it, it is pretty important to know that there's no dipstick on this car. Right now the car is checking the oil. You need to be at a certain temperature. Again, you can't go out and check it in the engine compartment. You need to come in here and do it electronically. But yeah, no dipstick. It's kind of weird because most cars have it. dry sump lubrication. That's what you get. Look, we're 0.0 liters. We're perfect. We're right at the level. We're not too high, we're not too low. The oil level is perfect, so I am very happy to see that right now. Of course, this car comes with parking sensors. Now, you may think, well, most cars have parking sensors. Well, I love the setup here. Remember, this is 07, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna creep forward to the car right over here. I'm being a little multitasking here, but what is great is that you see a visual there, and when you get to about the red version there, you're about, what, 6 inches away, so that tells you no more. Same thing for the back, and I love that top-down view. It's not a camera view, but it is very accurate and it is very helpful both in the front and in the back. If you don't want it, you just press P and boom, it's gone. It's out of sight, out of mind. But that has saved me so many times from people parking, and even when you're moving back and forth in traffic and someone's really close to you, you don't want to hit them, you can just literally turn that on and be like, okay, I'm that far away, I'm good, I'm not going to hit them. And that's it. So that is a great feature that is not in my 2009 C63 AMG, which I don't know why it was not an option on that car. So it's a wonder that this car does have it. Of course, you got seat warmers here. I usually don't use them, but you have a cigarette lighter, which is great so that you can charge your phone. EDC, I go into kind of a full detail on how to do the M button and how to configure that, so take a look at my video on the M drive and how that works. But basically, this is the electronic damper control, and you have comfort, and then you have sport mode, and then you have super sport or sport plus, and it really makes a difference. It's not gimmicky at all. The car really responds differently when you put them in the different modes. I'm not going to pair up my phone for this one, but again, for 2007, compare the other cars. Compare 328 from 2007. It has Bluetooth technology, of course, and you can just say right over here, you can just say, call mom, call girlfriend, call baby, whoever you want, and it'll absolutely call it for you, no issues. It's a great thing, and of course, everything happens through the speakers, and that is a godsend if you're driving or in traffic and you have to call someone. Now, this is a special feature in the M5, and that is the Alcantara headliner. It's beautiful because it goes all the way down to the side pillars about here. Same thing on this side, and it goes all the way to the back. It's a beautiful suede-like material. It's very soft, and it's just beautiful in general. It keeps kind of the warmth away, but it's just a nice, luxurious feel in a car that is just so race-inspired, but also you get that luxury. So you get so many great things in this car for the price. It is really a no-brainer. Of course, you have the great big engine. I have to do a video just on this engine. It is so glorious, and honestly, it's so sad that they're phasing it out, but it is what it is. Look at that, the M badge, it comes with the V10 there, and this engine is huge and just spectacular sounding. Revs all the way to 8750, I believe. Very simple in the sense of you add the oil right here if you got to top it off, and that's a common thing for me as well as other M5 people. It is so hot right now, and it's not even completely warmed up. It's incredible. Again, no dipstick, but just the design, the fact that this is the same body as a 525 essentially, and they're able to cram a V10 in here is just crazy. But I mean, this is one of the best features of this car, this engine. This engine is what makes this car, so I needed to show that to you. Again, very few cars with a V10 in it. I'm thinking Lamborghini Gallardo, I'm thinking Lamborghini Huracan, I'm thinking Audi S6, S8, thinking Audi R8 as well, but other than that, very few V10s. I may have missed a few, but pretty much if we're talking about modern quote-unquote sports cars, this is pretty much the least of the bunch. Very rare. There's also the Carrera GT for Porsche, but like I said, they're very few and far between. Super rare. Also, we can't neglect the mirrors. These mirrors are beautiful, and I will show you a picture of the standard mirrors for a car of this era. So 2007, let's say BMW 5 Series, you'll see that they're rectangular compared to this where it's almost like they're an I shape. And this part on the bottom is always black no matter what the car is. There's a light down here that turns on, especially at night when you open your car door. So this is black. So let's say your car would be white. This would be all white and this would stay black. So you can really from far behind see the mirrors. Of course, because my car is black, they completely matches, but you do get that oval eye shape, and these are only on the M5. They're exclusive. I mean, unless you buy them aftermarket. But I hate to burst your bubble, but these are not functional. These are just plates that you can pull out. It really doesn't cool the engine. No heat really comes out of this. Essentially, they have a really good cooling system in this car, but it's pretty much just a visual cue. It goes back to the CSL, the 3.0 BMW. I think it looks beautiful in my mind. You can recognize it's an M5 even from far away. Those little slats, I mean, look at that. From this distance, you can clearly see. You don't even have to read the M5. Moving on to the tires, I made an exclusive video just showing the new tires that I got for this car because they really needed a change. And so you have 19s all the way around. And then let me tell you the size in case you want to know, but you should check out that other video so that you can get the information. These are 285s, 35 ZR19s. Here we have 255 40s, ZR19s as well. So you can see 255 in the front, very wide tires, and even more super wide than that, you have the 285s. You can see how really wide the tires are, so it is staggered. The front ones are less wide than the ones in the back. And then I can't help to show the quad exhaust. This car comes stock with the quad exhaust, which is kind of a signature thing of the M cars. Again, not all M cars have quad exhaust, but it kind of started in the early 2000s, and I guess after the M3s, after the E36 M3s. But yes, you have that quad exhaust, and this exhaust is stock, and it is beautiful. It sounds great. It's a sport type exhaust, so sound changes at around 4,000 RPM, and it is super glorious. Let me let you listen to it. Of course, the car has a sunroof, which is pretty nice. You can use it however you want. Let me show you from the inside how that would work. There is a nice shade, which I love. This pulls back and lets the sun in without actually opening it in. So if you want a little light, that is great. But then you pull this back, and there's metal or aluminum on the other side, and so that keeps the heat. It bounces it off, so you can really feel less heat. Today's a hot day, and so you can click this button, and that opens up. That helps to vent out any hot air. So it pretty much, you know, hot air rises, so it goes out. And if you do want to open it up, you just click it once, and it automatically opens all the way out. You can leave it like that, or you can close it and then just pull it back. So close it a little bit, and then you can kind of leave it halfway or however you want it, and that is a great feature. You kind of feel like you're in a convertible, kind of, maybe a Target top, but it is a feature that I love, and it's great. This manual gearbox is probably one of the best things about this car. The clutch on this car is so smooth. It's so great. It's so nice. It is my favorite. It is super smooth, and the gears to go in, it is just a godsend. Like, really, it is so awesome, and one of my favorite things about this car. I think I wouldn't like it as much if it's an SMG. $7,000 to replace the clutch in an SMG versus, you know, less than $1,000, less than $1,000 to do a regular clutch job on this. It's a regular manual. Of course, the car has memory seats, and that's one of the great things about it. So up to 2 people can drive it. Of course, only mine is in memory right now. However, I did find this feature that I think you'll absolutely love. I had to turn that beep beep off. So there are so many options for the seat, and I just found out about this one. This is great. So this one pulls the top of the seat back, and it's amazing. I don't know if you can actually see that, but the top of the seat is actually retracting. Do you see that? So if you want, you can lean it back or forward and give you a more sporty feel. Look at that. You can see the top of the headrest all the way to the second little pillow pad there, up to about here, pulls forward, and I think that's amazing. Or if you want, you can pull it back. That is a fantastic feature that honestly I don't think I've seen in another car. I'm sure it is, but it's super rare to me. I was very surprised when I found that out. And now look at this feature. You have 2 little buttons here. If you press this one, the side bolsters inflate pretty much all the way, and then here they release. So if you want that huggy feeling, you can have this around you the entire time, and I think that is awesome. Like, look at that feature. It looks like this car has wings. Look at them flap just like that. Now, unfortunately, everyone, I can't show this to you directly and how it works because it does take some time. But if you notice on the RPM gauge where it says 8,000, there's a yellow line that goes all the way to the red line. Well, that yellow line actually grows, and it grows to about 6,000 or 5,500, somewhere in that range. And as your car heats up, the yellow line starts to fade and go down visually. It's an analog style thing, it's not digital. And so it's basically telling you how much you can rev safely until your car is warmed up. Of course, now the car is completely warmed up. I did that to show the oil and so forth, but it's a really cool feature. So here's a great feature. If you look on the side here where the lights are, you see this button, and it took me a while to figure out what this is. It's a car with ... I. So that means information. So let me show you what that does. If you look, you see nothing, but if you press it, you see something. And let's just zoom out of there. Look at that. It is the head-up display. And look, that is the best thing. It tells you the navigation directions as well. That is one of the coolest features I've ever seen in any car. Why? Because as you're driving, you're looking forward and you can see exactly where you need to turn. You don't have to take your head off of the wheel or off of the distance in front of you. That's it. As you're looking, boom, you see it right there. You don't need to look back and forth and anything like that. One of my favorite features ever. Alright everyone, well thank you so much for watching this video. If you do want to see more things like this and more videos on my M5, just let me know in the comments down below. I would love to see your positive, constructive criticism in this. It's always helpful. I might have missed a feature or two, I don't know, but I try to get the ones that are pretty much mostly unique to this car and something that when driving other cars that I notice. Of course I know the M button is on there, but I did kind of a separate video on just the M button and how to program it. But other than that, that's cool. It does have a start-stop button and you put the key in, but I think that that's in a lot of newer cars right now, but this was one of the first cars to do that. So thank you so much, and we'll see you all next time, and don't forget, drive safe.